going on, everybody? Welcome to Just Talks. I'm Justin Neely. Co-hosting with me is my guy Jason.
What up?
And our special guest today from East London, UK, Sultan Adewale. Thank you for joining us, man.
What's up, guys? Nice to be here.
Big news recently with the Knicks. The Knicks looks like they may get Marcus Smart. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I heard it's more of like a mid-season kind of trade for them, depending on how Memphis' season goes. But I think if the Knicks could get Marcus Smart with the addition of Cat that they just got, I think they're a finals team.
No, for sure. I definitely think it'll make a big difference because Marcus Smart can play defense and like DiVincenzo going, like that's definitely another defensive player they can have.
Yeah, it'll be a trade for Miles McBride, I believe. That's who they be changing for.
Yeah, young guy.
See, the thing that I'm concerned about is if they got rid of McBride, right, who's a shooter, they already have Cameron Payne, who I'm obviously a fan of, former Sun, he's a very good on-ball defender, but he can't shoot threes. So I'm concerned that the Knicks won't be good enough shooting, like their bench won't be deep enough shooting-wise if they get Marcus Smart. That's my concern with them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely depth on the bench, but I think they give Cat more of a responsibility for that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, who would their shooters even be? like the small shooters would have nobody.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I mean, at that point, I think you get like who they had last season if they re-signed Bogdanovic and stuff like that. Maybe get a veteran who could shoot threes. Because let's be honest here, you could be 50 years old and just sit in the corner.
Yeah,
and just
shoot threes. Yeah.
You don't need to be in shape
Exactly.
to shoot corner threes. So I think that they'd have to definitely add a few veterans if they get Marcus Smart. But then, I mean, I don't even know what Payne's role would be at that point because he's a defensive point guard. So it would be, I don't know really what his role would be. I guess they'd have to trade him for something, I guess.
Yeah, they probably have to get rid of. I mean, they could trade him for a shooter. I mean, you bring in Marcus Smart as one of the best defenders in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot for the Celtics with their time there. Now, the next one was they almost also got Walker Kessler, but apparently they wanted 2 first-round picks for him, which I think is a little high. And second off, the Knicks don't have picks, so I mean they couldn't have done it either way.
I think they gave up some picks for the Michael Bridges trade.
Yeah,
so
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mikal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't have some extra ones to give for Kessler. But I mean, you like Cat over Kessler, or do you think Walker Kessler would have been a better fit for the Knicks?
Cat over Kessler.
Yeah.
It's no brainer. Like he's an all-star. Like,
Yeah.
Cat for sure. Especially the way he just played like the other night. 25, 14. 5. Nah, he's good. He's got playing like he has something to prove.
Yeah, definitely. And adding on to that, they got rid of a first for Cat. They got rid of the Pistons pick. So
Yeah.
they've been giving up first like crazy. But I mean, think about it. If they didn't get rid of, if they didn't do the Cat trade and got Kessler with picks, then they'd still have Randall. So I mean, then I don't understand. I mean, I don't like how Randall plays with the Knicks, but some people I guess may say they'd be better if they had Randall at the 4 and then Hart off the bench. But
that would have been an interesting lineup with Kessler and Randall in there.
yeah, and then you'd have your bench would be a lot deeper because you'd have Randall on the bench and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, yeah.
And now Mitchell Robinson's going to start, so it's different. I mean, do you guys think they're better off now or better off if they would have got Kessler and gave up the picks?
I think now because he's like one of the best rebounders in the league. Robinson, like 12 rebounds, and then you have Cat, like he can just stretch out the floor, and he can do all the dirty work inside.
What a crazy week in college football. We had Bama go down, Tennessee, Missouri, and Michigan. 4 of the top 10 teams went down here. And I hate to say, your Canes are pretty close.
They was cutting it really close with Cal. I mean, listen, they outscored them 29-3 in the last 20 minutes, but they were down big. A great game by Cal. Shout out to the quarterback, Mendoza, also Florida guy. Little did you know what I'm saying? But it's Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to show up and do what he do. Heisman favorite.
I've never seen somebody so nonchalant in the fourth quarter, down that big, ready to turn it.
Yeah, 2-minute drill, he showed up. It
seemed like in his head he knew he won the game. It didn't even seem like he was stressing like that, which is crazy. But what's even more crazy is Vandy taking down Bama.
Oh, man, that was an incredible game. First win in, it was like 40 years or something crazy against a top 5 team.
And I think I don't even know the last time they beat Bama, if ever, in program history. I mean, definitely not under Saban, and Saban wouldn't have allowed that to happen.
It was funny. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, prior on game day, he was talking about how Vanderbilt was the easiest place to play.
And he said that Vanderbilt's the only team he doesn't have to worry about losing to.
Next thing you know, they're ripping the goalposts down. So
it's insane. I mean, this is, we were talking like a week or two ago on the show about how great this Bama team was, Jalen Milroe, but I mean, coaching wise, you definitely see the difference once Saban left, because this is unexcusable. You have Ryan Williams, maybe the greatest freshman receiver of all time, and then you have Milroe, who's going to be an NFL quarterback. You still have all the talent Bama has, and to lose to Vanderbilt, man, it's not a good look. Now, Tennessee was a little surprising to me because Arkansas is a decent team, but the thing is, I actually liked Arkansas last year better with KJ Jefferson. So I think this is a weaker Arkansas team, and obviously Tennessee was 4 at the time. It just seems like college football. It just seems like anything can happen. This year.
You never know. I mean, Singleton scoring for Arkansas last minute, giving them the lead. They came to play. And shout out to Raheem Sanders, too, running back for Arkansas, another Florida guy. He's a dog.
Now, the last one I'm completely excusing was Mizzou because they went to A&M at A&M, which people, you could debate Penn State or A&M, but that's like technically, it's between Michigan, Penn State, and A&M for the hardest place to play in college football. I would not want to play college football at A&M, so I could understand the problems Mizzou had. Those fans are just insane. If you think Bama's insane, I think A&M is way harder to play than
Crazier
Bama.
place to play, yeah. I remember watching, I believe it was last year, the year before, when Miami was playing them, it was, insane in there.
Now, the one thing I will say that's interesting is all 4 losses were away. So that says a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to play away in college. It's so crazy because you don't see anything like this in the pros. The pros, you see like a little bit like slight home advantages, but nothing like this. I remember all the time in college basketball. Monmouth's a great example, actually. I remember Monmouth could never win a game away, but they'd win every game home.
Yeah.
They were like 11-1 at home and then 0-10 away.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of crazy to think about. They're playing the same teams, but for some reason, it makes that
home
much
field,
of a
home court
difference.
advantage makes a big difference.
It's insane.
Especially when you got, big crowds going on. I don't know.
We're
For
not
college,
getting
it's
those big
different.
crowds at Monmouth.
Yeah.
So I think it's the travel. I think the travel's a big part of it.
True. Especially if, you're not chartering, basketball-wise, like not every team charters. So, those long bus rides, they do affect you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing about basketball, though, at least in the MAAC and in the American East, I feel like travel isn't as big of a deal as some of these bigger schools, like especially football. Even just Albany football, for example. Last year we flew to Hawaii. We flew to Marshall, Texas. That's crazy distance. For you guys, Syracuse is far,
Yeah.
and Georgetown, but that wouldn't even be that far for football. So I think these distances are to an extreme at that point. So I could understand how it affect their play, their sleep, everything.
Definitely. You look at the Miami, they played Cal, it's on the other side of the country, so long flight, and then Cal came to play. So
yeah. And it's good to see because it's their first time in the ACC.
Yeah.
So they kind of put a statement out there, that the Pac-12 is nothing to mess with. Everybody, welcome to part 2 of the J-Cal road trip. This time we are going to UMass, which is a
electric.
No, don't do something like that. I will say has ties to Albany with DK. Obviously, used to be at UMass. Now the question is, who am I going to side with? Am I going to side as the home crowd, or am I going to go with the SEC guys? So what I will say is, because of what happened in week 2 when Albany got destroyed by West Virginia, I had to go with Kansas because I wasn't going to let the team that destroyed the school I go to, I was going to support them. I'm not KD, so.
Right.
Now, the question is, do I go for the home team finally, or do I stay away? And the answer is,
The way he brought the helmet out.
I will be rocking with Mizzou, baby, with the Tigers, SEC.
Yo.
Now I will show the results this time.
All right, yeah.
Definitely got my eyes on Brady Cook and Luther Burden. Obviously, the biggest superstars, both going to be NFL players. Now, I've always liked the Mizzou team. I liked them last year. I liked them for a while. Yeah, I think, honestly, they messed up. Because this game is at UMass.
Tough place to play, you think?
No, this is the problem. The problem is that UMass has a capacity of 18,000.
Right.
Mizzou has a capacity of 65,000.
Right, doesn't compare.
So my question, like, do you know how risky it is? Like, it would be so easy for Mizzou just to buy up all the seats and go.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be interesting to see. You gotta let us know. You gotta let us know what the crowd's looking like.
Because I'm just saying, like, no offense to Albany, but I would be very concerned if Bama decided to just play up here at.
Oh, no.
So UMass has one win, and it is against. It's not even an FBS win; it's an FCS win against Coastal Connecticut. And Albany would destroy Coastal Connecticut.
Right.
They got killed by Buffalo. Shout out Buffalo by 30. They get whooped around by everybody in the FBS. I don't think they even deserve to be an FBS school. I mean, let's be honest here.
You just crazy.
All right, name one UMass football player ever.
I couldn't.
Exactly. There's a reason for that.
Right.
I mean, and you're telling me UMass is coming up. Wait, no. You're telling me Mizzou is coming up to UMass? It doesn't make make sense to me.
I mean, that's like, I remember, actually for this season for Duke, John Shire wanted to go play at Maine for Cooper Flag. And Coach K stepped in and was like, nah, we don't do that.
Damn.
I mean, looking at where the Maine gym is, I mean, no disrespect to Maine, but come on, that's not.
Duke, yeah,
they're not
Duke
bringing.
going there.
Yeah,
Come on now.
they're not bringing Duke there to Maine to play.
Fucking man, yeah.
You could.
Well, trust me, you'll pay for that when you have to take that road trip up. I heard it's one of the worst road trips you
Oh,
guys
it's
got.
terrible. It's like 6.5 hours. Yeah,
And it's
rough.
cold and everything.
And it's cold and yeah.
I'm not. That must suck.
Yeah. Now, the biggest win for Missouri this year, they've had an easy start besides the A&M game, was against Boston College. Boston College is having a solid year. Definitely, I mean, people think they should be ranked for how they are. And it was a 3-point game, very close. But, yeah, no, Mizzou stuck it out, won the game, big for them. And they beat Vanderbilt in overtime, which I guess is a bigger win than it used to be because they beat Bama. But
Yeah, they got a few more good ones, too. Auburn, they play Bama, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, who just beat Tennessee. So
the biggest game they have right now is Boston College. And then they have the win against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Because they had an easy first 2 games, I think it was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like how their schedule was in the beginning. But there's, as you were saying, the second half of the schedule was a lot more difficult, but they lose this game. If they lose this game,
we got to get you. We're gonna have to get you a UMass helmet.
I'll buy a UMass jersey
if they lose the game.
I will, whatever. I'll fuck whoever played that game, give them some NIL money. Go on Influx or whatever.
We'll give them a JusTalks podcast sponsorship.
If they only win by 30, I think there's a problem here.
Right.
I mean, just 18,000 to 65,000. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, the first game I went to, West Virginia, that was like 50,000 people, so it made sense. The stadium was loud. They won. But unfortunately, I think my home record on the road trips this year is coming to an end. If it stays undefeated, though, that would be kind of cool. But it's not. Put it this way: if Missouri loses this game, season's over, obviously. And I think that this would be the worst way to lose.
And they'd be
season.
frauds.
Oh, no, more than frauds. It's like at that point you may have to end the program.
Right.
You may need to go to Missouri State or something and bring them up. There's no way. Now, like I said, starts the game before, though, Luther Burden and Brady Cook. Luther Burden has been 50-50 this year with his usage, but I think it's because of their easier games. And sometimes, if they're blowing a team out, they're not going to try to get him hurt because he is their team. And, their running back's not as good as last year with Cody. But, I mean, they kind of have like a 50-50 situation going here. And Brady can still run if he has to. And Brady Cook, it's in the name. The name's Brady. He knows how to throw a football. So It should be an easy win for them. Rob Dillingham just had his preseason debut with 21 points. Now, that's obviously an impressive debut from overtime elite in high school, then went to Kentucky. Went to Kentucky, was the last year of that Calipari coaching staff. Now, my question here is, he was a top 10 pick. Now, there was a lot of concern about him being a top 10 pick.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing when he was, well, first of all, at Kentucky, he was like sixth man coming off the bench and was, I believe, if not, was one of the leading scorers for the team. But, I mean, the biggest like concern from him before he was getting drafted is shot selection, because he's kind of like a microwave scorer where he just kind of takes,
wild shots. Yeah.
I mean, he takes like wild shots, but I mean, it's also preseason, so guys aren't really playing, like the main stars are playing like 15, 14 minutes,
Probably got 0, so.
Yeah, like.
No, like, it's hard. It's hard because at the end of the day, I think preseason games are way harder than like a G League game.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Because but you have to give him credit for that.
No, he definitely came out and performed. What's funny? I actually played against Rob Dillingham in high school. He was a sophomore, and I was a senior. He went to Combine Academy before he went to Overtime Elite. But I mean, shout out to him. I mean, he's gonna be a backup guard for them behind Mike Conley, veteran. But I think. As Anthony Edwards saying how he could be a contributor for the team, but I mean, he adds a scoring option to them.
No, he's definitely talented. I played him in high school too. We played him against Combine. I went to St. Louis Christian in high school. He was really talented. I was like, damn, he got some moves. Like that was one of my first games in America. I was like, damn, the guys here are really good, but definitely talented. Played him in CB3 as well, so definitely has a bright future.
Now, I think it's very important to bring up the Timberwolves because, like you said about Mike Conley, he's an older veteran. So I think him developing under Mike Conley will be huge for his future success. And, I mean, you have a good young core. You have Jaden McDaniels, obviously Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Josh Minott, who played extremely well in the first game, Florida guy.
Nas Reed,
yeah.
Exactly.
No, the Timberwolves definitely got talent.
Oh, and obviously DiVincenzo is also a good catch. So, I mean, honestly, with how Dillingham's playing, you can't hate them. Like, actually, I hate to say it, I think we were wrong about the trade for them because if you think about it, they have the young core they already have, and now they're going to get a top 3 pick in the next draft.
Right.
So they're really going to be built for like the next decade. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you can't play it safer than that. Yeah. The problem with Cat is, things can happen, and then, you're not built for 5-10 years down the line. Now they're built for this year and 10 years down the line. That's important to realize.
No, they probably definitely won that trade. I mean, I think the Knicks are in a win now kind of mode.
I think they both won the trade. I think it's the perfect trade for both parties here.
Yeah. I think so.
Wendell Carter was re-signed 3 years, $59 million. It's whatever to me. I think
it's whatever. Yeah. I think that's a great extension for them. I mean, former number 7 pick, 2018 draft. Last season averaged 11-7, shooting 52 from the field. I mean, he's consistent. I mean, he's been with the Magic for 4 seasons, averaging 13-9, 50-something from the field through his 4 years with the Magic. I think that was a great extension for them.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, it was a great extension for them, but it's also on the cheaper side if you think about it. Jonathan Isaac is in the 20s,
exactly.
And funny enough, one of your players you hate, apparently, KCP is in the 20 million.
I have no beef with KCP.
You have a lot of beef with KCP. No, DeMar has more.
DeMar, yeah.
He has a lot of beef with KCP.
DeMar has beef with KCP.
He couldn't speak. But yeah, because, I mean, you guys hated KCP at that spot, but, I mean, he's getting paid, a decent amount, $25 million a year.
Nah, he's doing extremely well. But I think, Wendell Carter, this is a good Magic team, too. And he's a big-time contributor for them.
Paolo, good young guys, bro.
Yeah, Cole Anthony, doing good.
Yeah, shout out Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
He's cheap. He's real cheap. I didn't realize how much his contract is.
Cole Anthony right now, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a steal for them right now. But, I mean, he's probably an extra one in the future. Tuesday was the opening day of the NHL. And the one thing I want to get your take on, so there's a new NHL team this year.
In Utah.
Yes, the Utah Hockey Club. What's your thoughts on the name? The Utah Hockey Club.
That's like the Washington football team to me. I don't, I'm not really a fan. I think we could have figured something out.
A little more effort?
Yeah, a little more effort.
Pretty basic.
But what's there in Utah?
Jazz?
I haven't heard much. All I know is
I'm
Mormons. all of
Yeah.
that. It sounds boring. Tell me.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but no,
You're not
that's
fucking with Utah?
I'm
You're
no,
not going with Utah?
I have no problem with Utah. You know,
think
for
he's
like, he's getting all personal.
Yeah, like,
Oh, yeah,
I think that if you were stranded in Utah, you'd be very upset. I don't know if you could handle it.
nah, I don't think I'd want to be in Utah. You know, unless it's for the Utah Jazz, then.
You would go there?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Bryce Sensabaugh, Florida kid, Utah Jazz, and Taylor Hendricks as well. Come on.
Yeah, you can reunite with your Florida boys.
Listen, 2 Florida boys on the same team, problems. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Now, surprisingly enough, they won their first game against the Blackhawks. I mean, they're not a very good team, but, I mean, winning your first game as a franchise always got to be a good way to start. Now, the key thing that we get from this opening day is the Rangers won 6-0 against the Penguins. And it means a lot because they just offered their goalie a contract, $88 million with Igor Shesterkin. Now, to let you guys know, that is the highest offer a goalie's ever received in NHL history.
Well, shout out to him for getting the bag.
Wow. Well. He said no.
Oh, nah. He said no
Why
to
would he say no?
88.
He said no.
Highest paid all time. He said no.
Oh,
That's
crazy.
outrageous. That's outrageous.
So it makes me wonder if it's even the money at that point, or he just wants to get out of New York,
Yeah,
which is
maybe.
pretty crazy to think about
Probably.
because they've been a playoff team for the last few years.
Well, you're going to have to give most of that back in taxes anyway, so.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I mean, I don't know if that's a big thing because he's Russian, so he's got to give all his money back anyway. But I mean, maybe it goes to Florida, don't have to pay taxes.
Texas,
But, very surprising. But now, if you're the Rangers, you offer this guy the highest paid contract in HL history. He said no, and he just got a 6-0 shutout.
Just
They have
give
to
him
give the
those
team. They have to give him It's going to be very interesting what the Rangers are going to do to try to get this guy because if they lose him, it's going to be a huge loss for him. And that's all I have to talk about the opening day.